Welcome back to Backspace Academy. In this lecture on AWS Analytics, we'll start off by looking at big data. How do we get it into AWS and what is the most efficient way of doing that? We'll look at the different options that are available for analyzing data that is stored in Amazon S3. We'll look at options that are available for extracting, transforming and loading that data and preparing that data for analysis. We'll look at the tools that are available for analyzing big data. And then finally, we'll have a look at how we can analyze real-time streams of data using Amazon Kinesis. There are quite a number of very good services that are available for big data on AWS. For analysis, we've got Athena, which can analyze your data that is stored in Amazon S3. Elastic MapReduce, which can process and analyze our data afterwards. OpenSearch, which is a fully managed search engine. And QuickSight, which is a business intelligence reporting tool. Amazon Machine Learning for conducting machine learning analysis on data. And finally, Lambda for creating our own custom analysis solutions. If we have real-time streams of data, we can use Amazon Kinesis to capture that data and also analyze it. If we want to store our big data, we've got a number of different database and storage options. Amazon S3, Redshift, our data warehouse solution for petabytes of data, DynamoDB and RDS. And for extracting our data from different data sources, transforming that data and getting it ready for analysis, and then loading it into a database or storage solution, we've got AWS Glue. In order to get your big data into AWS, there are a number of services that you could use. This is not an exhaustive list, but you could look at using a database snapshot to Amazon S3. You could use the AWS Database Migration Service. For example, if you wanted to migrate your database over to a data warehouse such as Amazon Redshift, you could use the AWS Data Pipeline and create a pipeline to migrate that data over. And we could also use an AWS Snowball device to upload that to S3 as well. The choice of migration service will depend a lot on what your available internet connection is. Let's say we would like to get that data into AWS within a week. So on the left here, we've got our available internet connection options. If we have a T3 connection, to transfer 100 terabytes is going to take 269 days. So that obviously is not going to be practical. So we would want to use AWS Snowball if that data size was more than 2 terabytes. And if we've got a gigabit connection, for example, with AWS Direct Connect, that 100 terabytes would only take 12 days. So we'd want to consider Snowball if the size of data was 60 terabytes or more in that situation. If you have your data stored in Amazon S3, Amazon Athena is a great option for that. It'll allow you to analyze that data that's stored in your Amazon S3 bucket using standard SQL statements. So you don't actually need to import that into a database to actually run SQL on that. You only pay for the queries that you run, and it's completely serverless. So here we can see we can upload our data to Amazon S3 as raw data. And once we've done that, we can do some ad hoc access to it using Athena. But we can then transform that data and cleanse that data with ETL using Elastic MapReduce, or we could also use AWS Glue as well. So once that data has been transformed and we cleanse that data and got it into a format that is more easily analyzed, we can load that back into Amazon S3, and then Athena can query that cleansed data and get better quality analysis of that data. Once Athena's done that, then that data could then be uploaded to a data warehouse such as Amazon Redshift, which can store petabytes of big data. When we've got it into Amazon Redshift, we can then use QuickSight, which is a business intelligence reporting tool, to analyze that data and then also visualize that with a lot of dashboards and graphs. Amazon Redshift Spectrum also allows you to analyze your data that's stored in Amazon S3 using standard SQL statements, but it's a little bit more powerful than Athena, and it can query exabytes of data. It's going to be more expensive because you're going to be not only paying for your queries, but you're also going to be paying for that Redshift cluster in order to run Redshift Spectrum. So it's really only suitable for very, very large amounts of data to get that return on investment. If you have large amounts of raw data, you may want to extract that data from multiple sources. You may want to transform and cleanse that data to make sure that it's ready for analysis and then load it into a data warehouse such as Redshift. So AWS Glue is an ETL solution that can do that for you. And it is a serverless, fully managed solution. In this example, our data will go into Amazon S3, and when that goes into Amazon S3, that can trigger an S3 event that will invoke an AWS Lambda function, and then that Lambda function could then update the AWS Glue data catalog, and it could also trigger an AWS Glue ETL job, and that will transform that data and make it ready for analysis. We could monitor that job using Amazon CloudWatch, and once that job has been completed, it can be loaded into a data warehouse such as Amazon Redshift, or it could also be loaded back into Amazon S3. Another ETL option is Amazon Elastic MapReduce, or EMR for short. It's a fully managed Hadoop service. Now, I've just quoted this off the Hadoop website. Apache Hadoop is an open source framework for the distributed processing of large datasets across clusters of compute instances using simple programming models. EMR will run on clusters of EC2 instances, and your programming model that you run on that EMR cluster will process that data. The clusters can be automatically deleted when that task has been completed. Hadoop goes beyond a simple ETL tool and provides a complete big data ecosystem. For example, you could have HBase, which is Hadoop's data store, and you can have that running on those EMR clusters, or you could have it running on Amazon S3. The EMR Studio is an IDE that can help you to create quite advanced data science applications for not only ETL jobs, but for also analysis of the data as well. AWS OpenSearch was formerly called AWS Elasticsearch, and it is a fully managed Elasticsearch service. Elasticsearch, it's a real-time distributed search and analytics engine, and it is the most popular enterprise search engine and is used by Facebook, GitHub, Stack Exchange, Quora, to name a few. It allows you to analyze data from a number of sources, including S3, Kinesis streams, DynamoDB streams, CloudWatch logs, and CloudTrail logs. Amazon QuickSight is a business intelligence reporting service. It's similar to Tableau, or if you're a Java programmer, you've probably used BERT, the business intelligence reporting tool. It allows you to visualize your analyzed data. It uses a super fast parallel in-memory calculation engine, or SPICE for short. And when QuickSight was released, AWS did claim that it would be 1/10 the cost of traditional business intelligence software. So using QuickSight over something like Tableau will give you significant cost savings, as well as the obvious advantage of using something that is integrated with AWS, where your data is actually located. And here's an example that is one of the AWS examples using live data. And it shows a dashboard of the latest coronavirus data around the world. And here we can see you can click on a geographic region and drill down to the specifics of that data and visualize that data quite well. Amazon Kinesis allows you to collect, process, and analyze real-time streaming data. For example, if you have some data that is live data coming off some sensors that are in the field, and you want to analyze and visualize that data in real time, Kinesis can do that for you. Consists of a number of services. The first one there being Kinesis Data Streams, which will allow you to capture that data, process that data, and then store that data. Kinesis Data Firehose will allow you to load real-time streams and save that in real time into AWS data stores. Kinesis Data Analytics will again allow you to analyze those real-time streams using SQL statements or using Apache Flink. And finally, Kinesis Video Streams will allow you to capture, process, and store video streams. In this example, we're receiving clickstream data from a website, and that is being received by Amazon Kinesis Data Firehose. So that will collect that data, and then it will forward it on to Amazon Kinesis Data Analytics, and that will process that data in real time. And then once it's processed that data, it will give it back to the Amazon Kinesis Data Firehose, which will then forward that data to Amazon Redshift for uploading. You could then use tools such as CloudWatch or QuickSight to visualize that data. That brings us to the end of the lecture. I hope you got a lot out of it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.